blasted off out of Bar Harbor just in time. There was some weather that was showing up just behind us. You can kind of see there. So we blasted up out of there, and Dad's ahead of me. Pretty little harbors were flying around all these different areas here, and we're heading over to our spot for the night that we're gonna camp at, and it's gonna be a place called Isleboro. We had hoped to go up to the easternmost airport in the United States, but that weather that we just dodged was right between us and there, so we're improvising. We're gonna find a little place on an island here to camp the evening. So I'll let you know how it goes.
You're not over the runway.
No. That'll be fine. I'll get the pen in court.
Oh, the evening's ours now.
It is.
Just so you know, I sat down without killing myself. So,
We've arrived at Isleboro. It's on a little island here, and getting tent set up and everything. Sun's already going down, so we're getting a shelter set up, and then we're gonna work on getting some dinner made and then call it a night here at Isleboro.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, and we are just getting ready to blast off out of, what was this place? This was Isleboro. We parked in the grass last night and had a nice area to camp. And
you on here?
Roger, I'm here.
Okay, we'll change in flight to the other airport, but okay. Let me see if I can get out of this hole.
Roger. So we parked back there. It's a little bit bumpy, so we only put the tail wheels back into the grass and butt between the planes. Very nice. All right, we'll catch you on flip-flop.
Clear.
Just out of Isleboro, climbing out. Beautiful day out. There's Dad.
We're headed back towards New York now. We're actually in New York here. We're getting fuel at is this Glen Falls? Glen Falls. Getting some fuel here. Pretty expensive fuel. I think it said $8.40 a gallon. So we're taking on as much as we can stand, and look at our next leg home. There looks like there might be a little bit of weather between here and Rochester, but we'll check it out.
Off the right wingtip is actually Pico Lake, and you can see down at the very far end of the lake the runway down there. That is Pico Lake Airport. And a few years back, this is where Dad and I actually stayed there.
This is the time of the week to be up here in the mountains during the week as opposed to weekends.
It is. It's really nice and quiet.
Traffic is next to nothing.
As you can see,
as far as driving, I mean.
Yep. Oh, Pico Lake.
All right, here we are in Oswego. Oscar's tied down there because we went to start and blast off for the last leg to Rochester, and it seemed like it had a stuck valve and engine wasn't running well, and so after talking to Randy and having a confab, decided to leave it here where there's some maintenance. Was able to luckily get a hold of the maintenance fellow that works here, because the fellow flying this plane knew him, and so that was good. I've talked to him and he's going to try and take a look at it tomorrow. In the meantime, we've unloaded a bunch of stuff from Dad's plane, and we're going to load me into it, and we're going to head on to Rochester, over to Brockport. All right, keep you updated. All right, we made it back to Ledgedale. We're -1 airplane now. Dad's here getting his plane all secured. And we left mine at Oswego and went ahead and got me and him back to Ledgedale. It's a beautiful evening, super nice evening flying along the coast of the lake. And now we're just getting wrapped up here and gonna head to the house. The saga will continue.
Good morning. It is Sunday, and I am headed back towards the south. It's, I don't know, about 9 o'clock. I've left Oswego after doing a post-maintenance run, and the mechanic there was super helpful and determined that I had a stuck valve on the #1 cylinder exhaust, and he took care of that. So I did a 20-minute run over the airport and then came back and looked everything over, and it looked good. And Dad and I drove out from Brockport this morning, so it was a bit of an early morning to get there, but it was good hanging out for a while in the truck as we drove up to Oswego there. I'm just now over one of the Finger Lakes here. Beautiful area down through here. There's actually a closed airport right off my wingtip. But you can see it's a pretty gorgeous day out. Horizon clear as far as you can see in all directions, so that's pretty good. It was a little breezy at Oswego, departing and landing maybe 8 to 10 knots, but nothing terrible right down the runway. And so as I go further down south, the wind should diminish off a little bit. So I'll keep you updated as I carry on to the south. Here's a small stash of wind generators going this morning. I'm somewhere maybe in Pennsylvania at this point. It's gotten pretty bumpy, though. Pretty much all the little clouds that were just scattered are gone, and now it's just high clouds.
Delta Cherokee 3664, wind speeds on the 45 to down 125 after.
But it is still super clear out, which is nice. But it's bumpy. We're nearly at our first fuel stop, which is Clearfield, Lawrence County, but we've got a pretty good ground speed here of about 132 miles an hour. And we're actually climbing slightly here, but it's a pretty stiff wind down there, 13 gusting to 18 I think, but pretty much down the runway, so I think we'll be fine. We'll get you on the other side.
New market traffic, 2 minutes prior to Skydive 110, speed below over the field, new market.
Alright, so I'm almost out of Pennsylvania, right up to the line here, and down below me is this airstrip with a really nice resort on it called, I think it's the Nema Collin, is where I've got it marked at on my iPad. But it does look like a nice place there. Strip looks like it's freshly paved and painted, and the resort there looks pretty spiffy with a bunch of outdoor activities, golf and everything right there. So one of these days I'll stop into there and check that place out. Until then, we're going to continue south. It's still a little bit bumpy. Hopefully heading for Upshire, West Virginia is our next spot, and hopefully from there on it's going to calm down a little.
Oscar and I just landed at Upshire County Regional Airport. You can see back here, a little building there. I think Dan and I came here one time, and we may have slept in this building, because I remember getting a courtesy car from right in front of that building, I believe, and sleeping in there. Gonna stop and eat cinnamon roll that Dad got me this morning, and call that lunch. There's also a fellow out there in a helicopter that was out inspecting power lines. He's coming back in now too, so I was gonna watch him. But we've been at it about 4 hours or so now, and about halfway. Winds and weather and everything the rest of the way look pretty good. So we're gonna take a few minute break and get some sustenance, and we'll catch you later.
folks, that's the end of the trip. Just got back to Clemson and Coney County and landed. Nice evening here. It's getting pretty hot, smooth air, but hot air. And so that concludes the trip. We made it all the way back to Clemson, and it was a great trip up to Maine, hanging out with my dad and traveling all around. So stay tuned for future trips.